Best World CD 2 years ago. And sadly, my brother Andy passed away the year after, about a year ago. But this is what we call Garifuna music. So can you hear the drums in this? Now, so all the Puerto Ricans should know this one. This is a combination of Puerto Rico and Cuba. Who wants to dance? Here is Brazil, and still you hear the continuum of the beat. These are women in the picture that are from Ecuador. So when I went to Ecuador, there's black communities in Quito, but their biggest community is in Chota and in Esmeralda. And as educated as I think I am, when I got to Esmeralda, I was like, oh, no one taught me about this, not even in my Panamanian schooling. Everyone was of African descent. And they spoke their language still. A lot of the families there still carry African names. They still carry African last names. They still keep their African traditions. And this is in Latin America. And that itself was fascinating to me. Because we're not told that we are connected. We're not told that people look like us in other places. This is Belize. All these are Belizeans. This is Nicaragua. Honduras. These were a group of elder women at a conference, and they got up and danced on punta, which is what they dance a lot in Honduras. Doña Berta. Venezuela has a strong black community. This is what we would call your popular sort of beginning of
you know, and it's that. It's the fact that I was able to look around and see my family. I have cousins that are black. I have cousins that are albino. I have cousins that are half Salvadorian, half Colombian, and I love them. And I'm glad and I'm proud to say, that's my cousin, that's my cousin, that's my brother, that's my sister. And it's because of me that I'm able to learn that. And not because of family. I just do believe. I try to instill it in my kids. Unfortunately, some people are lucky to do that. Some people are not so lucky. So I think it also has to do with generation and if the parents are willing to pass down the message.
I agree, because when I go into the schools, some of the conversations that we're having with the girls, they can't have in their house. Many of us have come to this country and have made the decision to not be black. And we pass that down to the kids. But what's happening is, in the house, no hablan de ser negros. But when those kids leave that house and they have to go to school, what do they think? How do people treat them? So we're doing a disservice to the kids because we're not allowing them to have the conversation that they need to have in the house, and then they're being shattered when they go out of the house. Because then when they go to that store and they go into that, or they're driving a car, that's when they're going, oh, I just had a black experience. When they should have known that they would have a black experience if they were talking about it before they got there. So we're doing a disservice, I think, like what you said, generation to generation, that we're not having that conversation. Because we need to know who we are to know where we're going. If you don't know who you are today, then how are you going to know where you're going tomorrow? Sir, you had your hand up?
Yes, I was simply going to say, I don't want to change the subject, but I think that one of the reasons for the prominence of the N-word in the public schools, in the junior high schools and the high schools, is among the, particularly among the black males, Latinos, and African Americans, is the unwillingness to accept part of that. It's, they use it among their friends, in constant polite conversation. Part of that is a result of a certain amount of ignorance that they've not been taught yet, and I hope you also see them use it in public, not privately, not in a private conversation with themselves, where everyone else is listening.
Oh no, I see you sit on the train.
This also is a reflection that they haven't done the research, that they aren't being taught. Something is lacking.
I mean, I sit on the train and I observe some of the young girls, because I have to say young girls are in there too, not just young boys. And I'm waiting 5 minutes into their conversation, waiting for someone to call a name. And no one has called anybody by their name. Everything is, and this, and that, and this. And I'm going to see, well, what's her name? What's his name? No one calls themselves by their name. The N-word is like flying all over the place. No one even calls themselves by their name anymore. What were you going to say?
What I was going to say was, like I said, from the 60s on through, I can tell you all about that, but the word actually has been more desensitized. And actually, to me, it's a good thing. I mean, some folks might not, but I sometimes think it's a good thing that type of word actually really has no meaning now, because before, if you had called me that, we would have been having a big old problem. But right now, it seems as though it's, shoot, I'm right, just call them.
Yeah, everybody is.
Everybody is.
Hey, don't let anybody go after the
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, move from table to table. Table to table.
Yeah.
So that there won't be too much argument between the races or quote unquote.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day,
Oh, you got gas
at the end of the day, it's still what it is.
Yeah.
Regardless of who you're telling it to, you know as long as you don't really know what that person's done for you, how tight you've been with that person, at the end of the day, that's what that means.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it's how you take it, regardless, it's what it is.
Well, I'm going to close out. I hope you walk away with something new information, new energy, new pride as African Americans and as Latinos, that you can walk out and know that you're a part of a long history that is very connected, and that we need to celebrate that in all the ways that we can. And the next time someone talks bad about someone from Roxbury or Dorchester or someone from Haiti and Santo Domingo, stop and think a little bit. Because talking about one is talking about all. Bringing down one is bringing down all. So thank you very much.
You went right back to work?
You gotta get help, Bo.
You gonna marry me?
Damn it, Bo, no. I'm not gonna marry you. My babies can't keep seeing their mama like this.
Your kids. So what you trying to say, that they ain't mine? Oh, you just a damn fool. Is that your man down there in that car? Are these his kids?